Why do that? I'm on the fence. Like, I'm like, that was the stupidest shit I've ever done. But then on the other side, I'm like, well, you did get back into it. You did exactly what you wanted to do. Hi guys, long time no see. I'm Kiosha. I'm a lawyer that doesn't practice. I'm a mid-level government bureaucrat, and I'm just someone who moonlights in creativity. It has been quite a while. Where have I been? I've been burnt out. The title, you read that correctly. You know, the quickest path to burnout as a YouTuber. Let's talk about it. So the first and only step that I have that is kind of broad and all-encompassing, right? The first step to burning yourself out on YouTube quickly is focusing and putting energy into making content that you aren't necessarily interested in. So yeah, that is the first step and the only step that I am going to discuss in this video. If you want to burn out fast, make videos and create content around things that you are not interested in. Case in point, I'm going to use myself, right? And I mean, this is just happening. I'm coming out, you know, I'm on the heels of bringing myself out of this burnout. So when I started back on YouTube last year, I wanted to prove to myself that like I could be consistent and I could show up. So I decided, okay, well, let me pick something that I could at least do, every week, right? A video that I could just film, throw together every week. So at least I'm being consistent. My goal was to make 2 videos a week, but one, I knew I could just sit down, make it, and then the second one would just kind of be, you know, whatever I had planned to make, right? The weekly thing that I decided to review Married at First Sight, because that year before I had watched the previous season with like Chris and Paige. Was that the first season I watched all the way through? It wasn't. I think New Orleans was the first season I watched all the way through, but it's just such a fascinating show. So I was like, okay, well, I can do that weekly. Easy peasy, no problem. So for 4 months, essentially, I reviewed Married at First Sight every week. And the first couple of episodes, you know, it wasn't so bad. I was getting back into the swing of things, and I was feeling pretty good about myself because I was doing what it is I said I was gonna do, right? Show up. Well, by episode 7 or so, I had started to hate myself and I had started to hate Married at First Sight. I started to hate the characters or the cast, the storylines. It was just all becoming too much. The individual characters like Hurricane Michaela and Zach and Mirla, it just became maddening. And if you look at those past videos, you could tell that I was over it, and you could tell that I wasn't really enjoying it, and you could tell that I was absolutely just going through the motions. And the craziest thing about everything that I just said is that I have not watched an episode of Married at First Sight since. As a matter of fact, I haven't posted on YouTube since November 24th of 2021. So let's talk about burnout, right? Let's get a quick definition. This is according to WebMD. So let's get a quick definition on what burnout is. Burnout is a form of exhaustion caused by constantly feeling swamped as a result of excessive, prolonged emotional, physical, and mental stress. In many cases, burnout is related to one's job. Burnout keeps you from being productive. It reduces your energy. It makes you feel hopeless, cynical, and resentful. The effects of burnout can hurt your home, work, and social life, right? So that's what burnout is. that's where I have been. Literally, it was so bad that outside of watching YouTube, somehow in my brain hated reviewing that show so much that I started to associate actually posting on YouTube, or I started to associate my hate for reviewing that show with posting on YouTube, which just caused me to completely be turned off by the idea of posting anything to YouTube. I just didn't want anything to do with it. And like, to give you an example of how much time I would put into these shows and how much energy, sitting down to review the show on a Wednesday, 2 hours off the top, 2 hours off rip. And then after that, I would sit down and script, you know, the video based on the notes that I had taken. Who I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about, what order I'm going to go in, like an outline, like not word for word, but an outline. That would take maybe like 30 minutes, an hour or so. And then, you know, editing would take, depending on how long the video was gonna be, editing could take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours, right? And then there's an additional hour of me creating the thumbnail, me basically doing copyright for the video, the title, keyword search, and then uploading the video. So that took about an hour. So 2 hours for watching, let's say 6 for editing, we're at 8, and then another hour for thumbnails and getting it posted. That's 9 hours. And it pissed me off so bad that, this is hindsight, right? Looking back, that I spent all that time doing something that I just absolutely hated. I hated it. I felt it in my body when Wednesday would come, when I would wake up and realize that it was Wednesday and that I had to review this show. It was just this sense of doom and gloom. I hated it so much that I just completely walked away, you know, from my job. I'm saying job loosely because I would like for it to be a job sometime in the future, but I just walked away from like my YouTube job. I only realized that I was burnt out and on this, you know, self-imposed subconscious break about like 2 months ago. I was like, Keisha, what are you doing? Why can you not post on YouTube? Why can't you be bothered to pick up a video? I mean, to pick up a camera and record and post on YouTube. And mind you, I was going ham on Instagram because I didn't have to review a show that I hated on Instagram. I was essentially, you know, just having fun, making short form videos just about stuff that I liked, right? So it was no sweat. But for the life of me, I could, and I have ideas, I had pages and pages of ideas, and I just could not sit down and make myself do it. You know what, this past 4 months, the realization that I'm burnt out, or that I was burnt out, the break, that reaffirmed to me, I won't say taught, that YouTube is already challenging in and of itself. You know, the skill set that it takes to, like, you know, be able to record your own video, having the knowledge to be able to figure out a camera, or even, you know, your cell phone, being able to figure out how to edit, produce your videos, how to upload, how to, it's a certain skill set that requires a lot out of you. So if it's already like this challenging thing that you like, mind you, but if it's already this challenging thing, why make it harder by producing content that you don't like? Why do that? I'm on the fence. Like, I'm like, that was the stupidest shit I've ever done. But then on the other side, I'm like, well, you did get back into it. You did exactly what you wanted to do. Maybe find a balance. You know what I'm saying? Maybe meet in the middle somewhere. So I always try to, you know, in my videos and posting videos outside of like Married at First Sight, I always try to like include just some sort of lesson or a tidbit of advice. My advice to you, if you are a creator, if you're a YouTuber, or just even a creator in general. But since I'm talking about YouTube, because YouTube is so time consuming, make sure you are creating content around things that you like, things that you enjoy, things that you don't mind creating and sitting for hours editing. Now there is a balance between things that you enjoy and then figuring out the algorithm and how to move in a way where you show up on the recommended page and you show up via search. There is a balance that I'm currently trying to figure out, but for now, from this point forward, I'm only gonna make videos about stuff that I like things that I enjoy. I will never, and I mean I will never, review. I will never, ever review Married at First Sight on this channel again. I may talk about, random shows on Netflix like The Ultimatum and Love is Blind and blah, 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 blah. And it's just me talking about it. I don't know if I'm gonna commit, to sitting down every week. I have PTSD. But yeah, that's the point of this video. If you want to burn out, make content around things that you don't care about. But if you want to see some sort of longevity, if you want to be productive, and if you want to have a long career in this space, which I'm figuring out, focus on things that you enjoy. That is it. That is the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not gonna tell you guys the next time I'm gonna post, what I'm gonna post about, what schedule. I'm not doing it because every time I do that shit, I shoot myself in the foot. So I'm just gonna do what comes naturally to my ADHD self. I'm gonna post what comes to me, when it comes to me, and things that I enjoy. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.